Welcome to Retirement Key Radio with Abe Abish.
Probably the biggest thing when it comes to what it is that you guys do in your offices, Abe, is answering the question that we all love to ask, which is, when can I finally retire? The Motley Fool is saying that there are three basic factors that we need to consider to get an answer to that question. First being your anticipated cash needs. Second, the amount of money you've saved. And third, your guaranteed income sources. So can you briefly talk about each of these things and how it relates to our retirement decision?
Absolutely, Heather. So look, those are three very important factors, and you need to have a good grasp on all three of those factors. So your anticipated cash needs, right? Do you have enough cash saved for emergencies for 6 months, a year? Do you have enough cash to help you transition into retirement? So what if you are downsizing your home and you want to get a foot forward on a new home? You want to buy a lot. You want to get into a new home before you sell your existing one. Maybe you need cash for a down payment. You need to make sure you have enough cash on hand to get you through this transition. The amount of money you have saved, that should be obvious, right? We need to have a good grasp on how much we have saved, because that will determine in large part how much income we can create in retirement. And finally, how much guaranteed income do you have? That's really important at our firm, because we believe, Heather, that the foundation of a strong retirement income plan is built on guaranteed income, or income that is extremely reliable and dependent. Why? Because we don't want to have to worry about fluctuating income in retirement. We don't have to, worry that, in December we have $5,000 a month coming in, and in January we have $3,000 coming in because the market's down. No way. That's not the retirement our clients want to live.
No.
So we just helped a couple that lives in Loudoun County. They're 66. They're retiring in 2 years. They have about $2 million saved, maybe about 1.8. And he has a pension, and then they will both have Social Security checks.
Okay.
One of the things we crossed off this list right off the bat, Heather, was guaranteed income. They didn't need to implement any guaranteed income with us because he has a Navy pension and 2 Social Security checks.
Got it.
So we immediately found out that their income floor was set, that the income from the federal government, the pension and Social Security checks, is enough to pay their bills the rest of their lives, adjusted for inflation. Man, that's a beautiful thing.
That sure is.
Now,
that's good news.
Yep, very good news. Now, we've got another $1.8 million left, right, in their investments that they don't need for income. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what do you want to do with this money? Do you want to pass money on to your family? Do you want to spend it all down until the last check bounces the day you pass away? Do you want to do a little of both? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to donate to charities? Or maybe a little bit of all these things, right? And so they came in concerned with some of the main things that people are concerned with, like RMDs, these forced distributions due at 72 now. They came in concerned with a merit for higher taxes down the road. They came in concerned with when to take Social Security. That was pretty easy solve for them. And concerned with long-term care. The wife wasn't so much concerned with long-term care for herself because she isn't in the greatest health. He's in better health, and she was more concerned for care on him because he has family that lives long. So we addressed that, and these were several of the things that we addressed for them, and we put together a very comprehensive retirement income plan that addressed their income in retirement. They have plenty of cash reserves. We address the amount of money that they have saved and what they want to accomplish in retirement with all this money saved. And for the first time in their lives, just 2 years from full retirement, they have a plan.
Amazing.
They were savers, right? They were savers, nearly $2 million saved. They were savers and accumulators. They had done a great job getting up the retirement mountain, which a lot of firms help people with. But now they needed help getting down the mountain.
That's right.
From growth into income, from their working career into retirement. And instead of going to a general practitioner where they're good at a little bit of everything, when dealing with these matters, you want to go to a heart surgeon, someone who really specializes in the transition into retirement. And that's exactly what we do.
So let's look into our future a little bit, because it's interesting how in order to do that, we just got to reflect upon the past. November turned out to be a pretty good month for the stock market, ending out 2020. Is that a sign of things to come in 2021? Market strategist Ryan Dietrich, he tells CNBC that whenever November gains are greater than 10%, that usually means more gains are on the way.
If you look back in market history, 6 to 12 months later, returns are actually really strong. 6 months later, you're up double digits on average, and you're higher more than 80% of the time. We think the market's telling us something. That 6 to 12 months from now, the action we just saw in November is really a strong sign and likely means more gains ahead.
Abe, is the market really, quote, telling us something, or do we still need to be careful about the amount of risk we're taking on?
I think we always need to be careful, Heather, about the risk we're taking
Sure.
on. And, right now with all the craziness going on and the election, the presidency, the vaccines and all these things that are still somewhat uncertain, we definitely need to be cautiously optimistic because the market is flying high. These indexes in the market are all-time highs. The Dow closed at 30,000 for the first time ever not too long ago. We need to be cautiously optimistic and make sure we are never taking on more risk than we need to. So we just helped a couple that lives in Sterling, Heather. They're right around 60. They're going to be retiring in about 5 years. They have $3 million saved. Fantastic job of saving. And what we did is we took a very holistic approach with them. We considered all aspects and factors of their plan prior to us making suggestions or advice on any of their plan and circumstances, which is typical for us. What we found out by doing that, Heather, is, this comprehensive analysis that we did is we found out that in their portfolio, they have a lot of cash and bonds, and they knew that, but never did anything about it. So I said, hey, we're going through all these statements here. Did you realize you have this amount of cash? Did you realize you have this amount of your portfolio in the bond asset class? Yes, we did realize that. And we just haven't done anything about it. Can you believe that?
No.
Like, I'm talking a lot of cash, hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash just kind of sitting there. Yeah, we just never did anything about it.
Right.
They inherited some of this money and just never made any changes. So as we were doing this comprehensive analysis, when we come across those types of things, we're going to let our clients know and let them know, hey, we can help you increase the efficiency of this whole plan by making this move, by making that change, by staying where you are here. This is good. This should be improved. Here are all the options you should consider before making these changes, and this is why. And that type of advice and type of analysis should be provided in a very holistic manner as we do.
Okay.
Part of the analysis that we provide for people is a comprehensive portfolio and risk analysis. Our team of advisors will provide that. And we use this investment software, and it gives people a speed limit, which is pretty cool. It's really easy for people to understand. And the speed limit ranges anywhere from 1 to 100. If you're coming in at a 92 or a 94, you're driving pretty hot down the highway in a Lamborghini, right?
Right.
If you're coming in at a 1 or 2, you're all in cash in the bank, and you're
Waiting for the bus.
Yep,
The
waiting for the bus. You're essentially going backwards once you factor in inflation and taxes. And sure, cash is important for some reasons, but not a ton of cash in your retirement portfolios. And so a lot of clients like to be in the 40 to 70 mile an hour range, kind of middle of the road, not taking on too much risk, not taking on too little risk. Right. And so they like that middle of the road approach as far as risk goes. This couple wanted to be around a 60 mile an hour range or a 6 on the scale of 1 to 10. And quite simply what that means for our clients is that they were willing to risk or willing to have about 60% of their money in a professionally managed portfolio in the market. Some on their own, some professionally managed, and 40% of their money, they wanted to make sure that a lot of that money was as secure as possible, was as safe as possible, with some downside protections, with more reasonable yields and returns, because they were taking on a lot more risk with 60% of their money.
Okay.
So essentially, they're about a 60-40 split. And so that's exactly where they wanted to be. But when we found out they had all of this cash and all of these bonds in there that they didn't realize, they wanted to make these changes. They wanted their portfolios to be more efficient, and we brought that to their attention. And these are some of the things that we'll bring our clients' attention to as we're going through the whole plan.
Find out more at retirementkeyradio.com. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish, NPM number 770-3575.